Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cup of Eggnog podcast. We're not streaming this episode, actually.
Support.
This is just straight up on YouTube, which I've done a video like this before. But, yeah, today we got a few topics. First is I ran over my foot with a pallet jack, and I saw the light
Good
for a
job.
second. Thought I believed in
I
Jesus,
just looked up
which
there.
brings us to the topic of the day, belief. Wow, look at that segue. Totally not planned.
That I crayon.
But no, before we jump, I legit ran over my foot.
Oh, good job,
Straight
idiot.
up.
We grounded someone, and now we can only see one text channel on the top.
That is a different. Yeah, we'll talk about that real quick. We have a person in our server who has been on the podcast before, Trash, and there's times where I honestly do get a lot of people saying, "Hey, this is getting a little out of hand. Can we slow this down?" And Trash, if you're hearing this, you stuck in piss baby jail right now.
Fuck you.
Hold on. We ain't doing any
But I
slander.
wanna.
No. I'll say, if you go re-machine, I will kick your ass from this call so fast.
Bro, you should pull up what I put in the chat onto the thing.
No, I'm good. I was just gonna say, we made a, we
You're grounded.
we joked that, oh yeah, what if we just make it so he can't see anything or text anybody? So, we made a role named Grounded, and the only chat he can text in, and only text, is a chat called Grounded. It also
He can
shows
only
it's-
see it. He can't even text.
No, I changed it so he can text in there too, but
Oh.
he can't mention anybody. He can't send any pictures or anything like that.
Good.
But it also shows up when he's online. It pops up as a separate role, like the All-Knowing Wizard does, or the Hentai Lord or Admin. So he'll pop up right between Admin and online, and we'll see Grounded in big, bold, gray letters.
Oi.
Here, for everybody looking at the stream real quick.
I mean, they're recording.
You see, yeah, recording.
Where the fuck is my mouse at? Oh, there it is.
I don't
Found
know.
it.
Where's your mouth at? Mouth? Mouse.
Mouse.
I meant mouse.
This is what we're looking at real quick. That. Dio sent that in chat. It says, you in piss baby jail.
Oh.
The difference is
You should show what I put as the message.
has what?
What I put as the first message.
He's talking about the "Did you touch my Among Us girlfriend?" The fucking cringy ass TikTok.
I can't show the video. It won't pick up the audio, I don't think.
It will, cause it's a separate audio source.
I'm trying to
Oh, but
bullshit a
dude.
reason for me not doing it. Dio, shut up. But anyways,
If that were to be the case,
I ran
then
over
you
my
would be able
foot.
to hear
I-
us right now, Jake.
Okay. I ran over my foot with a pallet
They're
jack.
having a mumbling contest. I have rocks.
We're gonna get to. Okay, hey, can I say this? Because this is one of the things I want to get out of the way. I ran over my foot with a pallet jack filled with 10 feet tall, a couple hundred pounds of groceries.
That'd be poor thing.
Dio.
Yes.
Dio.
Do you want to go to piss baby Joe?
No,
I
thank you.
question your own reality.
Okay, then you better
Thank you.
check yourself before you wreck yourself. Boy. Can someone get their nose out of the microphone, please? It sounds like I'm on the shores of Lake Superior, just.
I didn't realize that I was breathing into my microphone.
I'm screwing with you, but I was in the freezer at my job, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mean like, oh, it's a little cooler. No. It's like a good 1,200 square foot freezer. Like, it's a big room. And I think it's got
Yeah.
a 12-foot tall ceiling. I don't know, but it's a big ass room. And I was dragging a pallet of groceries in on a pallet jack, right? I was just pulling it in, and I couldn't exactly stop it all the way, and I had no issue stopping this bitch. But the floor was different than the linoleum was different than the stone floor I was just on. And I kind of jumped over the track between the door and the freezer, like the little stopper that the rolling door is on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the pallet jack jumped over it like I needed it to, and it kept going and slammed onto my foot.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
isn't that great?
I was so happy I was in the freezer. I yelled motherfucker as loud as I could.
No one heard.
Nope. Felt good. And then I saw Jesus for about 5 seconds. You know how hard it is? You gotta be hurt to see another man's God?
No, I see one
Yes.
every day.
So, speaking of God,
I don't
This
believe
is the
in
perfect
God.
roll
I
into
believe
our
in dummy
next
sick John
question.
Arbuckle.
are we gonna dive into why Princess has a shit ton of rocks?
Oh yes, please. I want to know.
Well, because Princess is a rock collector,
No,
and
it's because she's a penguin.
I am a penguin, and I offered you my perfect rock, and you didn't take it, and you won't
I
marry
want
me.
a
And it's
perfect
a
rock.
you want a
'Cause
perfect rock?
I'm not a
I'll give you a
penguin.
perfect rock. I have a perfect rock.
I want a piece
I have a
of
perfect rock for you.
The perfect
I
Where's my
rocks
have.
that
perfect
I
rock?
have are on my staff.
Yo, I'm gonna send you a picture of my perfect rock.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
I
why do
want
you,
to see a picture of your perfect rock. I want to see a
Princess?
picture of perfect
Why do you
rock.
have rocks like a bunch of different kinds of gems and whatnot?
Well, okay, so I'm a child and I like pretty click-clack noises. That's also the same reason why I collect dice. Um,
You collect dice
so
because you're a D&D goblin.
shut up. Um, but yeah, so I also like so I was really big into geography when I was little. So like I liked learning about rocks and different kinds of like stone structures, kind of like the Grand Canyon, all that nice jazz. And it kind
Don't you
of,
mean a rockologist?
that's no. Tio.
Dio, the amount of retard that just came out of your mic right there was a bit loud. I think you peaked it.
Was that the wrong word? I think
Yes.
I forgot the word.
Geologist.
Yeah.
It's called a rockologist.
Oh yeah.
Dio, I'm
It's
making a
now
new role
called
now because of you.
no. We have to
I'll
go with
just
it.
I thought
I am making
no.
a new
Okay,
role now
okay.
because of you.
Okay. To be fair, I thought. Here's what I thought it
No,
was.
you don't get to
I thought
explain
you were talking
yourself.
about geography.
Nope, you don't get to explain yourself.
You don't get to explain yourself, do you?
Want to know
No,
why?
I don't want
Want to
to
know
be
why?
grounded.
You're not gonna be grounded, but I will make you something worse.
No. We gotta call geologist now. Rock scientist. Boom.
No, he didn't say rock scientist.
What do I have? Movie master's right hand
I don't
man.
know. He gave it to me too, and I couldn't give less of a shit.
Because you could literally just you can work in the movie theater.
I couldn't though.
You could.
Dio, because you said rockologist, you don't get a perfect rock anymore. I'm sorry.
Dio, would you like to?
Can I get a perfect rock?
Dio,
Can I get a perfect rock?
everybody, go look at Dio's rolls.
Gotcha.
Rockologist.
Rolls.
No, I'm sorry.
Slide
I'm
that
the
roll on over to
perfect
me
rock.
since I'm the rock collector here.
No. You are the collector of clacky clack things. He's the rockologist.
I'm the collector
I
of
am a
clacky
rock.
clacks.
Okay, but anyways, now I was gonna
Can I
say, so
please
you
still get the perfect rock? I didn't know the word.
Can I have a perfect rock?
can I have
You-
2
you-
minutes
well,
of speech without being interrupted?
No.
Well, I
No.
want a rock, okay?
I'll send you both a rock. I'm done.
Yay.
Alright, Jake, now you may speak.
Okay. I thought she was gonna say something along the lines of, "Oh my God, my quartz is so healing. Like my amethyst removes my negative energy, and my topaz." Like I thought she was gonna go down that list.
No, I just like rocks because they make click click noises.
Okay, cool.
Relatable.
So Trap and I have had this conversation before, and I don't have a segue for it, but it's like, spirituality.
Oh, Netzadak.
I'm not
Oh,
talking about.
spirituality.
I'm not talking about like the whole. Oh yeah, is Jesus real? I mean like the belief
Oh.
systems. How powerful do you think they are?
Sweet mother God.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Jesus is stronger than a banana.
Well, you'd be wrong because Jesus is dead. No, I'm kidding. Um, he might be a
Well,
banana for
no.
all we know, decomposing. No,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
no. Anyways, jokes aside, no, I've had this conversation before, and I've had it in college rooms, high school classrooms, middle school, and at family gatherings, which is why my family doesn't talk to me anymore. Um, no, the main question is, how powerful do you think belief is?
Well, it's depending on who
As you
you
want it to
ask
be.
and who you think.
Well, I mean, like, because I have weird ass experiences and that I've talked about on TikTok,
Oh
but
yeah,
not
same here.
in person. But it's weird scenarios where it's like, well, I've never seen anything react to an actual cross, ever,
Y- You're right, yeah, but
personally.
in some people's eyes, like if like a really religious person does it, in their eyes, they think they're doing something good, and they see what they want to see, and make them their brain makes them believe, hey, you're doing something good.
No, no, that's not what I mean by this. That's not what I mean by that. I'm not saying like the mental power of belief. I'm talking about from actually seeing this. I don't know if you guys have actually experienced this stuff or if I'm just smoking crack, but I have seen shit with my own eyes that I'm not able to explain.
Try your best to.
No, I mean like I have legitimately tried every single way in practicality to explain some of the things that I've heard and seen. I don't mean like, oh, I
Mm,
saw a million-eyed thing with wings. No, no, I don't mean like that. I mean like figures, stuff like that. Like there's times where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just
you mean
hallucinating or shit like that. But
like
that's the only
demons
like
and that type?
I wouldn't say that word specifically.
Yeah, no, I was like demons and that type, like some weird figure in the corner
Or
of your
just
eye.
evolution. No, I've just there's been weird scenarios that I've seen firsthand and seen accounts of where stuff that I've done affects stuff, and I'm like, how I do that?
Yeah,
And
no, if you're talking,
one of the things
hmm?
was I used to have this Mjolnir pendant. I had two. One was straight silver, which is in certain religions a holy metal. It's pure. You can't do anything to it, right?
Yeah.
And the other two are still on the call, right? They're just dead
Uh,
silent.
I'm here.
Okay.
yeah,
I
they're here.
I gave it to one of my acquaintances now. I'm not friends with her anymore, but I gave it to one of my acquaintances, and the reaction it got was strange. As in, it burned to the touch.
What?
Which in some cases is like, oh yeah, that means it's just getting rid of something, or something's wrong about it for them. But she wore it because she knew something was wrong, or she put it underneath her pillow or whatever, or hang it above her bed.
The rockologist has returned.
Okay, cool.
God damn
But
it.
yeah, she wore the Mjolnir pendant. It was just this little silver thing, no bigger than a quarter, with the tiny hammer carved out in this ring with the Elder Futhark runes. And I have
Hmm.
never seen, I've never gotten any reaction out of a crucifix or a cross or any depiction of Jesus Christ in my life. I've never heard of anything like that. Like you see it in movies and shit, but I'd never seen anything react to it. Well, whatever it was that reacted, it took the pendant away.
Hmm.
And the other thing was I had an emblem that I made of Audgisjarmor, or the Helm of Terror or Helm of Awe, depending on your translation. It's the Viking symbol that, when carved in the center of the helmet between the brow, which it was something in the legend of Sigurd and Fafnir, or Fofnir, depending on your interpretation of the story. It was this rune that Fofnir the dragon had that would strike fear into anything that was his enemy. When
Hmm.
Sigurd killed him, avoiding the rune, he learned the power of it and learned that it would strike fear if he wore it. So I made an emblem of it, and I gave it to that same person, and everything that was attached to that person would try to keep those pieces away. Like, it would stay, or she would have to put them back every morning, every time she got up, where she needed them to be. And I kept that thing on me at all times, if that made
Nice.
sense. I kept it on me at all times, and then I kept the Mjolnir on me until Valentine's Day of 2020. Um,
Mm,
that's when I
Ripped
gave them
off.
away, is what I was saying.
ah,
And what I saw was that the pendant would be gone. Like, it would just fall off from the. They would be sitting still, and then it would fall. And then the disc, this like 2-inch wide flat emblem, would go from underneath a pillow to on the windowsill, 10 feet away, or on top of the dresser,
that's some fucked up shit right
and
there.
nobody would go in and move it because I would be on phone call, and I would see that, oh yeah, she's asleep. She hasn't moved. The only thing I couldn't see was where the emblem was going. And I'd never seen anything like that. Like, if I went to my grandmother's house and I sat down for a minute, you won't feel anything. But if you go in the basement and sit on the couch, you'll feel like you're watched. And I don't mean like oh yeah, I shouldn't be in the basement. I know, I mean like there's 4 people in this room right now is what it feels like.
Yikes. Shadowmen.
Not that
Um,
word. Not that word.
Why?
No, like that's a whole different thing. Legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
So before the whole split of my family happened, I would go to my grandparents' house for the summer. Um, and my grandfather was very religious.
Oh, fuck.
For the things he did, he shouldn't have been, but whatever. Not the point. Point is that they would take me to church every Sunday, and I don't remember much because I was really young when this happened. But apparently, when like the I don't know, the pastor would like walk around all the kids and be like, "Oh, God bless God," and I was like, my grandma apparently it stuck with her. And she never took me to church. She never took me back to that church ever again because he just kind of stood there, stared at me, and
Hmm.
then walked off.
What the
But like
fuck?
not like a very calm, nonchalant walk off. I mean like speed off. Like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. It was
Um,
weird.
there's a few stories that I have if you guys want to hear them.
But
Sure.
Which one do you want? Do you want the funny one?
Creepy, weird story.
Let me
I
finish.
want to hear a creepy, weird story.
Okay, so he wants a scary one, basically.
scary.
Yeah, it's like in the middle of the night here, and I'm ready to fight something.
Before I
I have my
do,
flashlight on. It's pointing toward that closet. I'm
I have
waiting.
all the lights on in the basement because I have trust issues.
oh, I have all my lights off.
I have my
Uh,
flashlight on. I have my
I've already
rocks next to
talked
me.
about a few entities on my TikTok page, right?
there's only
I
one
wanted
light,
to.
except for my computer light, and it's my fucking green lamp. I literally have a lamp that just has a green light bulb on it. I always keep it on. It's pretty nice
I'm
too,
thirsty.
actually.
You guys are coming with me while I go get something to drink.
Ah, okay.
Okay. God, why is the recoil on this gun just so high?
Oh,
Jesus.
But yeah, I've recorded stuff on my TikTok page about interacting with stuff before is the best way to describe it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there's a few I haven't talked about because it's just strange. But let me see. You wanted a scary one?
Yeah.
Yeah, something creepy.
For a bit of reference, you're not you don't you're not it's not smart to talk about stuff like this at night. It's not like a, oh, it gives it power. No, it's more like a, oh yeah, we're talking shit about you. Come here. It's like you're calling somebody. You're like, hey yo, come over here, like shit like that.
Dog shit
It's
to
kind
my
of the
go. If there's ghosts in my house, I've been talking shit about them all the time.
no. I
They
mean
have
like,
done jack shit to me.
you guys heard of 315?
Nope.
What do you mean? Like what?
Google
In what sense?
3 and then colon 15.
Oh, you're talking about
Mm,
like the time.
Yeah.
I think I have, but I'm gonna double check.
that's some weird, creepy number. I can already tell.
You know the meaning of 333.
Ye-
So
50. That's 51.
I think it's 315.
Uh, it's just coming up with a song and a Bible verse.
That's not what I'm looking for. Give me a second. I'll find it for you guys. But can someone go before me? It's like if they got a story.
No.
Hmm.
What gun is that? What gun is that?
What?
What is this guy using?
Leo, what are you playing?
I'm getting
Jesus. He's
Oh, I'm playing a
playing Cold
Roblox
War.
game. No, playing a Roblox game called Weaponry. It's actually really good.
Okay.
There's a hacker in our game. He's teleporting around. Not great.
Hey, has anybody ever noticed, like, if you, in the middle of the night, when you're laying down and you have an open door, does it feel like you can see something like a weird fucking shadow figure?
Yeah, that's your eyes kind of playing tricks on you, usually.
Yeah, I know. Every time I get up and try to do something, I see, I'm like, oh, well,
But
should I go fight it?
Usually it's not a best idea, but okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
no, my brain says, hey, something is not right here. Fight it.
anyways, I found it. So, anytime between 3 to 4, right, was the phrase "the witching hour." Uh, began at least as
Okay,
early
that's
as
you're talking about it now.
1775 in the poem "Night and Ode" by Matthew West, I think. Though its origin, it's older than that to like 1535, because Catholic Church bullshit. They wouldn't let you do anything because of witchcraft. And
I'm back.
in
Welcome back.
like if you look at like Western Christian stuff, they have like Devil's Day, which is October 30th, but they think that the time between 3 and 4 was a like spike into a
Like in
it was like a rise in activity. That's the sense. It's also referred to like devil's hour, if that makes sense. Like the
Yeah,
flip
that's what I
of
was saying earlier was
Mm-hmm.
3:30. 3:33 is the Devil's Hour.
oh,
That's like the peak of like supernatural activity.
that doesn't make sense why it would, but anyways, um, some say it's like 12 or 1, which is like sunset and sunrise, and then others say like midnight, but because of the way people
clickbait
wrote back
YouTubers
then,
say it's just directly 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I have an entity in my house.
But if you look at like a bunch of
Among Us
recorded
came to my house.
events or shit that happens around this time at night, it's like most of them are from like 2 to 4, 2 to 5, and then 3 is like the peak amount.
Yeah.
So it's like a half and half. It's like, well, here you go, bitches. Um, but sorry about that. I got the story now. The first time I was ever actually like concerned, because there's a few that I don't like talking about, but um, you guys want to? I'm not gonna tell a scary one yet. Screw it. I'm gonna tell a funny one first, because it is. I used to tell story times, right?
It's called the oof gun. I'm gonna
Yeah,
reset real quick.
I used to tell story times to Bella. If you guys remember me talking about that, we're gonna say
Oh,
Karen
Mm-hmm.
for
I
now.
Yeah.
And at the time, I would light a candle and say, "Hey, move that candle if I know it's you. Like if I know who you are, yada yada yada," and explain it. And it wouldn't be like a seance thing. I just lay on my bed and watch it flicker. If it was still, she liked the story. If it moved a lot, it was she was getting bored. Right?
Mm.
I think that's what
Not
I
my
did. Anyways, I uh, I was telling a boring story. I don't remember what, but I said, "Are you bored?" And it stopped moving because it was going like all over the place, and then just stayed still. And
Hmm.
I never really had a problem with Bella, but I had suspicions. But
Hmm. Bella seems nice.
again, suspicions. One of the main things that the funny ending of this story is she didn't like the story and she threw my guitar case. As in, it was leaning up against the desk, and I said, "You're bored, aren't you?" Ooh, I
We'll give
heard
her his
that.
guitar case.
Hold on a
Yeah.
minute.
Huh.
what?
Shush.
Something happened in his
Shush.
room.
I don't think she likes me talking about her anymore. I'm not exactly
Oh,
friends with um,
Uh,
that
so
person
if you die,
anymore.
we know what happened.
Wasn't she a shared spirit?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm like, I don't think she likes me talking about her anymore.
So
Oh.
if you end up, so if you
My
and Sting
candle
are
broke
dead,
on the later.
we know what happened to you. Okay.
That's not funny, Trap.
yeah, it's not.
Hmm.
No, I just
Was
meant the
it?
fact that I just heard a bell,
Okay.
like a rattle of metal on the ground or something.
Oh well, shit.
Yeah. Anyways, threw my guitar case, and I got a giggle out of it. Scared the shit out of my cat, though.
Where the hell is my lighter?
Goddamn it.
Man, if there's a ghost in my place, I don't know what to call him. I really want to call him Jerry, but I
Well,
think he would be pissed
I
off with
didn't
the
name
name.
her. She told the name.
Oh.
That's the, that was the part. Like I didn't name that one. I named a few, but it's a weird situation.
I'm smelling coffee.
I didn't do it.
I smell toast.
I smell nothing.
That's not a lighter. Where the hell is my lighter at? Because I would like to light my candles so I can.
It's what it was back in
Gee,
Modern Warfare 2.
candles protect me, please. I'm lighting you with intentions. Oh my god.
Hmm.
Oh my god.
I honestly do and don't believe in ghosts.
Same here.
The only reason why I do is
Like,
because I can't figure out a reason or figure out how I can disprove it. Because there was a situation that I was in that just didn't make sense. And I haven't talked about it on TikTok yet, but um,
Mm.
one thing that played out was my friend had never been in my great grandmother's house ever. I never talked about it. I never really was worried about it. And this was back in January while she was in a hospital. And this is one of those
Mm.
events where I'm like, okay, this is where I can't explain shit anymore. Because initially I was just starting to profile my friends and go, oh yeah, it looks like early onset schizophrenia or stuff like that, or stuff like, because I was trying to do psychology course at the time and I was honestly trying to profile it like, could it just be like something's wrong internally, or could it just be something that she's just projecting? No. Um, I started asking questions because she said she was hearing something shit talk, if it's the nicest way to put it. Just saying things that weren't necessary and whatnot, and I eventually asked her what it was saying. And one of the questions I
There we
asked
go.
was, what's in the basement? And it said, they're all on the couch. They don't really like people
That
down
is
there.
not a good answer.
I'm not done.
That is
So
not
they
a good
don't.
answer.
They're not exactly friendly. And I said, yeah, I figured. It's a weird feeling going down there. And then I said, where'd we put the Ouija board? And it responded. It said, dark. And it's cold and no one's allowed to touch it. And it's underneath everything. That board is underneath a couch on concrete floor.
Uh,
oh,
In the basement.
oh,
And it said that.
huh.
So that board is in a dark, cold spot that no one's allowed to touch. Under the green couch. And it told me that I broke the lamp.
On my bracelet. I'm not about to have no thing.
Mm-hmm.
real
Oh,
quick, hold on. You know those fake ghost shows?
Uh-huh.
Like the ones that are blatantly fake? Yeah, my dad believes in most
I don't
of
like the
them.
cringy ones, but the personal experiences that just don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I never told my friend anything about this house. And she was able to perfectly describe to me how my brother and I passed a green yoga ball back and forth and knocked over a porcelain lamp.
Whoa.
That's
And
weird.
could tell me where the Ouija board was, where my grandmother used to sit.
I asked which
Some
friend this was.
spooky shit.
You know who it is. I don't talk to them anymore. I haven't since last June.
I think I know who it is.
Blue.
Yep.
The other thing was, yeah, the rest of the night is irritating, but there was a weird. I've never really able to stick behind church. It's always a surreal moment, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
when I was at St. Joseph Hospital, there's a chapel in there. Obviously, it's a Catholic hospital or a Christian hospital. I'm not going to assume which version it is, but it seems like really strongly leading towards Catholicism. Um,
Yeah, that's what most of them are, because
I don't know.
they're usually Catholic. I mean, I've honestly just been able to get that with the ties to, because I myself am Catholic, you know, so it's just stuff that I've tied
Oh,
together.
this isn't really a scary part of the story, if that makes sense. But it's one of those weird moments where I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I
And if there were to be any, I'm gonna say something. If there were to be a friendly ghost in my house, I don't really mind.
yeah,
Like it,
that's fine.
because there's always one thing that I've always just suspected. Like, because there's something always off with this one section of my room. Because sometimes when I'm sitting, I'll feel a hand on my shoulder.
Yeah,
Like,
come here, Chris.
and the thing is, I think it might be my great grandfather who I'm named after.
Nice.
I don't like to assume. Like
A
that's one of the things I'm
friendly,
not quick to trust.
a
Um,
friendly
I
hand, I
mean,
believe.
it's the only person that I've had like that kind of like even I haven't like directly like met them and have visual memory,
that's what I
but it's
mean.
something that
Huh.
is just weirdly connected because I just felt it right off the bat. Like I felt like that was the case right off the bat, and I don't even know where it came from.
Yeah.
Like it's not any of those like ADHD things.
One of the weird things that happened when I was still friends with Blue was um
Let
if
me real
I
quick.
had a lot of issues last year, like not before COVID hit, I had a lot of problems, like a family member dying, or us finding out our dog had cancer after 4 months of us being told she was fine, and every time that I have a mental breakdown, I would get asked about it the next day, like, "Hey, I know." You know what I'm gonna say? Because I would give no signs on social media. I wouldn't text anybody or anything like that. People just assumed it was fine. The next day, like I'd look the same as yesterday and whatever, nothing would be off. And I get flat out told like you cried from this to this, and it was about this. You want to talk about it? I'm like, thanks. Stop sending your spy.
Some okay, so some ghosts are really nice, like what Dio had, and some ghosts like to give other people hints about how you feel, and other ghosts
Yeah, I
are
got that.
pieces of shit that don't want to fuck with people, but they have to if they want to get a good laugh out of something.
Mistake a ghost for a demon.
And if
That's a big thing.
yeah,
That's one of the
and
things I was concerned about.
if if I have a ghost here, his name is Jerry now, and Jerry, I hope you're good.
Anyways,
A
um,
ghost in my bathroom.
Sorry about that. I just had to say something like that.
that's fine. I'm not worried, but I was gonna say I've there's been a lot of weird shit that's happened. Is a nice way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been kicked, scratched. Uh, I've been hit in the neck too.
Oh, excuse me.
I made a joke about kicking my friend when they were pregnant or whatever, and there was a sharp pain that went immediately in the side of my neck, and I knew what it was, and I got pissed and whatnot, and just totally yeah. But
That girl said, don't make jokes like that.
it was the same thing, if that made sense. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I've learned from dealing with this stuff is don't trust it. Like there's a few things that I picked up on. Like one of the one times that I did anything was I was sitting still in my room on the phone with Blue, and I had fallen apart an hour or so before, and I was just talking, and I put up my left arm on my lap, flat with my hand out, right, like I was just sitting crisscross applesauce, and I put my left arm out, and I said, "You have my permission, just this one time, to
Shit.
to take my hand or whatever." or to you have this is the one time I'm willing to let you touch me, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And I could
you're allowing your
feel
dead to touch the
someone
living.
take their finger and jab my skin from the center of my hand all the
Center of the
way up.
palm.
Yeah, center of my palm all the way up, straight up my arm to the elbow, and stop. And I heard Blue giggling, and she said, "You've never let her do that before, and it's weird for both of you."
Oh yeah, if you don't have many interactions with any paranormal activity in your house, like if you have a ghost always with you,
I'm dead.
they and you don't allow them to touch you, then they get a little confused on what you mean by it.
No, there
So
was
they do
no
something like
confusion.
that.
It was no confusion about why I was letting him do it.
Not confusion like that, but like confusion of if say if you were like in a paranormal house and you know there's a ghost near
Oh
you,
my god, that scared the hell out of me.
and this ghost hasn't like heard any voice of like thousands of years and doesn't know like how to hold somebody's hand or forgot like how to do something. Sometimes they'll do something, try to do this thing that you allowing them to do, but they'll like mix it up with something else.
I've never had an experience like that. I'm gonna tell you right now. The only thing I've had experiences with is stuff that can actually interact with stuff. Never anything that's too old or too not disshapen from reality, but just straight up. Uh, they've been around for a bit. There's never been a situation I've been in where it's like, oh yeah, they don't know how to interact with reality. No, never.
Hmm.
There's always been something that's altered something. Like I've seen pictures be thrown. I have seen pewter dishes get chucked from like horizontal, not just off the
Dang.
counter. No, as in thrown a couple feet just to do it. I've seen stuff grab light bulbs. I've seen lights explode. Turn no, sorry, let me back up. I've seen shit turn green and then explode.
Oh,
Hmm.
It it's never been something along the lines of they're just confused. No, it's the fact that I had seen stuff do this and I didn't like it. So the one time I let them do it and it never happened again, it was to see if they would keep to their behavior. Had nothing to do with they lost touch with reality. No.
This is more like you want if you wanted to see if they change their attitude or change their behavior over time.
No. It was just flat out to see if they would keep their word.
Uh,
So there's like a child spirit that at first kind of resonated in my bathroom because it would constantly flush the toilet continuously when the light was not on. No one was in there, and Mans was just. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to sleep. Um, and I'd be out in the kitchen or something like that, and I'd have something on the counter, he'd knock it over. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, can you not? And then just like a cat, it would slowly but steadily head to the edge of the counter, bloop, off the counter. What the fuck? He's friendly, as
hmm.
far as I can tell, but he definitely is a troublemaker. Still don't know his name though, he won't tell me.
poopy
I
Paris.
It's been a while. Is the nicest way I'm gonna is like the most descriptive I'll say. It's been a while since I've ever actually interacted with anything, but I yelled for 6 months I was gonna sage the house. Like I was gonna use some old cleansing materials and smudge the house. I don't
Hmm.
follow any particular religion or anything like that, but the only thing I lean closest to is Norse paganism. Um, I am trying to do like a rune master or whatever. Like that's the thing that's the closest thing I call to religion, is just these depictions and images, like staves and God the Strafir and stuff like that. Um, and from everything I've seen, it works. Like I have not seen anything else get reactions out of anything or work with anything. It doesn't make sense to me why this stuff that I have, it doesn't piss, well, it does, it hurts people that I know, if that makes sense. Like, well, do you guys know any mediums or are friends with anybody who is quote unquote more spiritually connected than others?
Nope.
Not that anybody like that.
So,
That's fine.
Thinking I might ask my mom if she can find one.
Amethyst. Everyone talking about, oh, the healing properties of amethyst is to remove negative energy. That's only partly right.
Oh,
All this stuff where it's like good vibes only, good vibes only. I hate that shit with a flaming passion, because if you look at all these actual not studies, but like paranormal studies of these stones, their use is like bastardized, if that makes sense. Like, and from what I've seen, if someone who's more inclined, is the nicest way we'll put it, holds one of these, and I had amethyst over my heart for 6 months straight, it burns them hot to the
if
touch.
you
huh.
if you want something that quote unquote cleanses
It's
negative
rose
energy,
quartz.
get hematite.
Both are spent. All three of them are said to do that. Quartz is something that absorbs all the energy in the room. Amethyst cleans it and helps you sleep. And then hematite does this and this and this. Like, I don't believe it for bullshit.
Speaking of hematite, I think that little fucker took my hematite ring
I I made
because
this.
I took it off for the night, set it on my nightstand, woke up the next morning, gone. My bracelet was still there though, but my hematite ring's gone. I'm pissed off about it.
Yeah,
Bud,
I think your ghost took your thing.
I did this, we'll say, experiment with two different people. I took out the rock, or no, I kept it in the bag, and I handed it to one of my friends. I said, "What does it feel like?" I said, "Nothing. It's just a bag with something in it." I said, "Okay, take it out." Put it in their hand. Nothing happened. It was fine. I said, "Okay." And then I put it back in the bag, made sure my friend didn't see it, said, "Hey, put your hand out."
That's
I
an
put the bag.
expensive ass.
I put the bag in her hand. She said, "It's kind of warm." So what do you mean? She's like, it's like you put a hot plate in my hand." I said, "Okay." So I take it out of the bag, drop it in her hand. She goes, "Mother," and she drops it, and she starts holding her hand like, "What'd you do that for?" So what do you mean? Pick it up again. She goes, "No, I'm not touching that thing." I said, "Why not?" She goes, "You just dropped like hot metal in my hand. What the fuck is wrong with you?" I said, "No, I didn't." And I pick it up just fine and I hold it. It's like, it's called amethyst. Did that to one of my friends in Tennessee. Difference was I did it with silver. I had a Mjolnir pendant that I wore that was silver plated. I had a second one, sorry. The first one is still with blue, and
Here
I'm
it is.
assuming she still wears it.
Do you have a theory of why they might have that reaction?
My theory is that the metals still work. Like, those items still work, but not in the way that people are like, good vibes only, good vibes only. Not those. No. Oh my god, your sign's in retrograde. No. None of that.
Let's fucking go.
Literally nothing that I've seen from any of those quote unquote gurus do anything. When I tell you that reading the Bible doesn't help anything, it just makes stuff worse. From what I've seen, yeah. When I tell you that making Gelda Strafir pisses stuff off and wants him to stay away from you, it works.
Made a clicker. Oh god, my ADHD son is gonna have a fucking milestone with this.
I just, there's a lot of things I don't like talking about, and it just doesn't make sense to me why. I just know it does work. I mean, if that makes any sense, because Princess, you've heard me do rune readings for people. You've seen me do it. But you see that I don't worship anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Like,
call anybody. Normally, what you're supposed to do for a rune reading is you ask the gods guidance and whatever, and I don't follow any of them. I do my own thing. I don't
I think
disrespect
I
any
know
of them.
tarot readings.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like tarot. I much like working with these. What you do is you. Do you guys know what Futhark runes are?
a little.
So,
Now I want to click that. Oh,
give me a second.
uh,
Futhark is a. It's the oldest form of the runic alphabets, and it's
yep.
written in. Oh my god. It's a. Sometimes it's carved in stone, sometimes it's carved onto wood, other times it's in bone. It just depends on what you're writing with. And it's Scandinavian for the most part. And it eventually got like shrank down into the younger Futhark, and then the Saxons extended it, if that makes sense. Like it first went from the oldest, and it was carved in on jewels, swords, and whatnot, and then it shrank down to a younger, more quote unquote modernized at that point.
Ow, my nose.
And then the Frisians and the Anglo Saxons turned it into something else called Futhorc. It was a language, um, but of 24 runes instead of like the English 26. And if you looked at all of these, they would form 8 groups called an eighth, I believe, or an eightir. Like if you looked, the alphabet was F U Th A R K G W H N I J E. Can't remember how to pronounce that right. P P Z S T B E M L N D and O. And if you put like a few of these together, you got the beer runes, which are like universal protection, but they're not long lasting. They're like, oh yeah, once you're done using this talisman, destroy it. But what do you guys think is the safest option if you're dealing with something that's frightening you that you can't see?
Personally, is if it's something that is like directly threatening me.
Yeah.
So you have to think about it. If it's something that's outside, basically what you could do is you could exit where you're at and try to go what would be considered in a religious sense a safe area for
Yeah.
the kind of thing. Because if it's
Sanctuary.
a demon, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I forgot the word for a minute.
Asylum.
No,
Um,
asylum isn't the right word. Holy grounds, or sacred grounds,
you
sanctuary.
could go to, for example, because I have a friend that's down the road. I could go to his house because he's had his house, uh, like blessed and all that. He's already had that happen, and so I could go down to his house and I could stay there for the time being until I can get my house. Cause again, I'm not too much of a religious person. Like I
Mm-hmm.
believe in like blessings, cause that's just basic. Like it's obvious that that stuff is real to an extent,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can have your house blessed. And most of the time, in most religions, it's that it is basically
Oh, fuck.
after it gets blessed, it is basically purged of any evil entity
For a
because
time
it's blessed.
being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so
Where's my
that would just make it easy in order, because it will take a few days for it to happen. Obviously, because my church
Alarm.
is like a few hours away, and also because of like you have to figure out what day, like all
No,
that
it's
stuff.
10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And so it usually does take a few days. So if it is that.
Princess, what about you?
Um, well, it depends if my parents are home. If my parents are home, I typically just try to sage the room that I'm getting the bad vibes in. Bad vibes is used as just a generalized term of just not a good feeling.
Something you don't
Um,
like a feeling you don't want.
yeah, like a feeling I don't want, a feeling that makes me uncomfortable, something
What
along
the
those lines. I'll
fuck?
just quickly sage the room.
Someone just threw a
Um,
ping pong
Mm,
ball at me. Did you guys hear that thing hit the ground?
yeah.
yes, I
Like
did.
I'm walking away from the table and it just got thrown off the table.
Oh,
Question is, why do you have it?
Oh, it's the one that Caleb shot at me when we were playing
oh yeah.
Smite a couple of days ago.
My
Hmm.
candle's
Ew.
going nuts. I don't like it.
Hmm?
My candle's going nuts. I
What's
don't
wrong?
have a draft in my room, and it's flickering like all hell.
Hey Google, turn the light on. Thank you.
I activated my Google Assistant for a minute. I was about to cry.
No, it's for me. I haven't dealt with anything with Jerry yet, but if it's something like that he's doing that could harm you, like if he's trying to do like a stupid joke that he's gonna laugh at later to you and it's gonna harm you, try to negotiate with it. Like try to give it some tips on not trying to kill you and just try to negotiate with it. Like give it times that it's okay to mess with you and times when it's not.
My parents
I'm
aren't
a
home
man
and it's
that
just me. I'll typically try to. So one, I'll put salt at the doorway of whatever
oh
room it
yeah.
is because then it won't come out. Um, but before I put salt at the door. I'll take a plate and I'll put burning sage on it and I'll leave it in the room and then I'll close the door but put salt at the end of the doorway so they can't get out if it's something I don't think is friendly.
Mm.
Um,
What I did
But yeah.
was the first time scared the shit out of me. I'm not gonna get into how or what it did, but it scared the ever living Jesus out of me. And I'm not even Christian. Like I legitimately mentally regressed into a child. I was damn near 18 years old and I felt like a 5-year old is how bad I was.
Oh my
Huh.
goodness.
I never let it do that again because now every time something tries to get near me like that or like does something, I just bull face it, straight face it all and whatever. And I don't fight. Nope. I just get passive. I don't give any reaction. And like a couple months ago, I got put into sleep paralysis after I moved the Ouija board into the back room. 3 hours afterward, or what I did was
Mm.
there's a game cabinet next to my bed, right? I had never touched this board in my life before. I picked up the box and I walked it back, and my brother said that probably wasn't going to be a good idea because I told him I was going to do it. He said, whatever's bound to that thing is going to give you shit after. I said, I know. I don't care. I picked it up, put it in the back canning room underneath some boxes, shut the door, turned the light off, shut the door, walked away. About 3 o'clock in the morning, I keep my eyes slammed shut, but I'm awake if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You know
Feels
what's
like I
happening
got
around you, but you don't open up your eyes.
fire around my entire body is what it feels like, and I hear giggling. I just said fuck off and I'm going back to
Oh
bed.
shit.
Yeah.
We should probably
Jerry
end it
tries to fuck.
here. It's almost what's known as the witching hour or whatever.
It's 2:38 for
For
me.
you guys, yeah.
Shut up. It's like in an hour. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no,
Technically, it's
but if
already
Jerry tries
starting
to
for
pull
me.
something off, and it's 1:38 for me, I'm good. But no, if Jerry tries to pull something funny, I'd just try to negotiate with him.
I don't give him the chance.
Mm, I would actually just try to negotiate. I
Real
show
quick.
that I'm a fighting man, but I do want to negotiate if it's
Real
possible.
quick. Here's a funny story. So you know how I mentioned that there's just someone usually in front of my TV, right? I was
Uh-huh.
like, I only just woken up, and I was like, wait, why is my TV so loud? Like, it was obvious that I was like looking for my remote. My remote gets flung across my room, like just to where it's right next to me.
Let me help out, buddy.
Huh. Uh,
That's
Yeah,
great.
I'm